Hi everyone, welcome to your Sunday reading, to your pick a pile reading. For anyone who didn't see my update video on Halloween, I am basically making a couple of changes. I'm doing timeless readings now, and I'm also doing a change in my uploading schedule. So I have these Sunday pick a pile readings, and then on Mondays I have Aries and Libra. On Tuesdays, I have Taurus and Scorpio. On Wednesdays, I have Gemini and Sagittarius. Thursdays, I have Capricorn and Cancer. And then Fridays, I have Leo and Aquarius. Saturdays, I have Virgo and Pisces. And then on Sundays, I have these pick a pile readings again. So, with that being said, please take a moment, pick a pile, and then I have the timestamps in the comments and in the description below. All right, so we're gonna do pile number 1. All right, so you guys are, I definitely see that you're dealing with someone, definitely very, very romantic right now. You have a lot of major energy, major arcana. You have the Hermit, you have the Empress, Strength, Justice, Lovers. For those of you who are interested in signs, we have Virgo with the Hermit card, Libra with the Justice card, Gemini with the Lovers card, and then Leo with the Strength card. But I'm definitely getting that for a lot of you guys, with all this major energy, you might be dealing with sort of twin flame or higher level soulmate energy. I see the Four of Cups, which gives me the impression that a lot of you guys are sort of in a position where you're done dealing with this sort of lower vibrational energy. And I feel like a lot of you guys are sort of dissatisfied with normal relationships now, and you're ready to sort of make the plunge into much more spiritually intensive relationships. Especially with this Leo card, I feel like you're tapping into it's a very primal energy right now. You're sort of going deep within and letting go of all these things that have been holding you back. It's very powerful feral energy. I see that you guys, for those of you who are like on a twin flame journey or dealing with a soulmate or someone, this is definitely someone that you've had a lot of history with. With the Justice card and the Hermit card, I definitely feel that like in the past you guys may have possibly hurt each other, and now you're sort of going through this period of time where you guys have sort of worked on yourselves. You know, a lot of twin flames go into separation before their reunion, and I definitely see it. I see the Empress. This is the way that you guys see each other. Like, you're not reuniting until you've sort of become this Empress energy. And unfortunately, a lot of times that involves becoming sort of this Hermit energy, and where you're sort of separated and going deep within and having to heal all these past things that may have really hurt in the past. And with this Justice card, I feel like if you guys have hurt each other in the past, you're sort of coming to that realization, and you're really just saying, you're saying it, I feel. Because I feel like you guys have had things on your mind for a long time, but now these things are coming out, right? So you have apologies if they needed to be said. You have people being honest with their feelings and saying, look, I know that in the past I came off this way, but this is what I really want, because I really get that this person wants the Lovers, and you do too. And to get the Lovers with the Six of Wands definitely, for me, feels like you're going to see victory. And I think the thing is, a lot of you want to see this victory, but you want to see it right now. And or maybe in the past you felt that way, but you've sort of let go of that. And you've said, I know this victory is coming. It might not be today or tomorrow or the year after, but you know it's coming, and you know that it's going to be just as amazing as what you've always believed, because you have this empress who is so powerful and so high up on the chain of command. She doesn't settle for anyone lower than the emperor. And I feel like in the past, because there's the empress here with the strength card from the same deck, it may have felt like, for a lot of you guys could be divine feminines if this is a twin flame situation, and I feel like you could have looked at your DM and said, wow, this person is not quite as refined as I would like them to be. Like, maybe you did a lot of growth earlier on than they did, but I definitely see up here that this person, like, they want, if it's your DM, they want to be this man in the Lover's card where he's holding her and she's happy to be there. And that might mean having to sort of face up to the cold scales, and if they have hurt you in the past, they're ready to atone for what they've did. They're ready to apologize. I feel it's just a matter of time, a matter of this happening, because I feel, especially with this Four of Cups, that they've been maybe in other relationships, or they've talked to other people and they just haven't felt that connection, that spark that they have with you, and it's really prominent on their mind, and they know that the only way for them to get at the Six of Wands and this Lovers is through you, their Empress. So I think just keep your chin up, because it's coming. But that was your reading for option number 1. So if you liked it, please subscribe or leave a comment and a like. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate it. Also, it helps me to know if you guys felt that it resonated or not. Either way, this is reading number 2. All right, so if you picked option number 2, this is for you. First thing to point out is that there's a lot of wands here. A lot of fire energy. You have the 7 of Wands twice, you have the 5 of Wands, and then you have the 8 of Wands. So I'm getting it for a lot of you, because my attention is being drawn to this 8 of Swords and the 5 of Wands, right? So there was conflict in the past. I feel that you guys may have fought with someone, with the person that you were sort of inquiring about, and it's definitely in the past. And I feel like you feel trapped in this conflict energy with this 8 of Swords. I feel like for a lot of you guys, if there were conflicts in the past, you feel like that's that, and they still feel the way that they felt back then, and there's nothing left, there's nothing more to it. But it's not quite like that, because I feel like there's been change here. I feel like they could have been hurt in the past, especially with this Queen of Swords here, because I brought this up in the Halloween reading. The Queen of Swords is usually a very hardened queen, and usually she doesn't show a lot of emotion, and she's very cutthroat and cold. But in this particular card, she's very sort of depressed, dilapidated, sort of almost like a deflated person. So I feel definitely that this person has been hurt in the past, but this is sort of ending, right? Because with the Death card, I feel like this person is putting back an end to this energy, and there's a change, and there is it might be a recent change, or it might have been something where it changed and there's just been no action taken since. But I definitely feel that these 7 of Wands cards are you guys. someone is coming out of the forest with the Deviant Moon Tarot's interpretation of the Seven of Wands. So that card talks about somebody who is escaped from the forest, found their way through. And in the Bianco Nero Tarot here, the black and white Seven of Wands, it's definitely, I see a person who doesn't want to keep fighting, but sort of picked up their staff and continued anyway, because this is something that they really care about. And I don't feel like it's fighting in the same way that it's fighting with the Five of Wands. So that's sort of like a conflict and a bad thing, whereas this is something that they've chosen that they want to fight for. So this is something, it's a good thing. Maybe this person had like given up and now is like, no, that's not what I want. I don't want to give up. And I definitely see that there's going to be a lot of communication going back and forth here pretty soon, especially with this Eight of Wands, because the Eight of Wands is sometimes called the arrows of love. So I get the impression that there's a lot of love here. Maybe there was a lot of discussions and a lot of arguments and a lot of mental games and feeling trapped within your own head and this, that, or the other. But I feel like that time is over, and you guys are going to enter a stage in which it's not about thinking. It's about feeling and acting and taking action for the things that you care about. So I definitely see that there's going to be a lot of movement here, a lot of passionate movement, because there's so many wands. So that was your reading, if you chose option number 2. If you liked the content, please subscribe, and please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. All right, so this is option number 3. So I'm seeing right off the bat the Strength card and the Chariot card, which are 2 major arcana, right? And then you also have the Devil card. So you have 3 major arcana. They represent Leo, Cancer, and Capricorn. I'm also seeing this Queen of Wands in reverse. And this, I believe in this deck they call it the Knave of Swords. But I'm definitely getting the impression that there could be a Leo involved, because the Queen of Swords represents fire signs. Sorry, the Queen of Wands represents fire signs. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The swords represent air signs. So those could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm definitely getting the feeling that there's a lot of love here, especially with this Two of Cups. Like, you guys are very infatuated with each other. The only thing that I'm seeing is with this Two of Pentacles that it could be that there's a lot of stuff that's in the way, and they're sort of having to, I'm getting like, it's very accountant, very like administrating resources, kind of like somebody sitting down and opening Excel and writing up a spreadsheet and saying, okay, I have X amount that I can, of time, energy, and money that I can spend on project A. I have X amount that I can spend on project B, and they're sort of like running these numbers in their head constantly. And I feel like that might be sort of involved with this Devil card, is because they're sort of really overthinking things. Because this Devil card, even though it has that Capricorn energy, like, in this particular interpretation, I see so much fire, and it's a sexual card, because I always find it interesting the way different artists will depict the devil in tarot decks. Sometimes the devil's a lot more sinister. Sometimes the devil talks about being trapped more so than anything. Sometimes it talks about greed. This particular tarot, this particular interpretation talks about sort of the sexuality behind it. So it could be that this person makes you feel trapped or sort of like bewitched if you've had a sexual encounter with them. But it's all very interesting because with the strength card, I feel like you guys are trying to really get a hold of your life, right? I feel like it could be also, I feel like it's definitely whoever is doing the accountant work. So whoever is thinking and thinking and thinking, that's the person who's trying to develop this strength, because they're trying to get a hold of their life and they're trying to move away from feeling so trapped and feeling like they need to administer everything. They're trying to be like the Chariot and move away from that situation, that sort of need mentality, the feeling that their life is lacking. And it might be that this person really wants to develop an abundance so that they're able to accommodate this Two of Cups love, because the Two of Cups love is soulmate energy, right? This is like divine intervention came in and gave you the love of your life kind of a deal. So I feel like a lot of this has to do with bettering themselves in order to be able to accommodate that love. And I feel like that's partially with this Queen of Wands. I feel like whoever this Queen of Wands is supposed to represent embodies those qualities. So the person is passionate, is loving, is caring, kind, warm, very leader-esque, is able to take charge of their life and has everything together. And the other person feels like the Queen in reverse. So they feel that way because they're trying to work on all those things so they can match the other person. But I definitely feel that with this Knave of Swords that there's some kind of communication that wants to come in. Somebody wants to come through and sort of, I'm getting the phrase like cut the bullshit, I guess. So it's like there's fog or mist around the situation. Things that people aren't saying, things that people aren't doing, and this person really wants to come in and be like, no, we all know what's going on, why can't we just talk about it? So for you guys, I'm getting that there's going to be a lot of clarity here coming soon. A lot of clarity, and I'm getting a lot of sexual energy from this devil. So if you're like, if that's something that you're concerned about, don't be, because normally the devil card is, I would say, it doesn't have to be bad. It just depends on how you use the energy. But the fact that it's coming out with the Two of Cups and this Chariot, I definitely feel like you're in for like a whirlwind romance, and it's going to make you feel that way. It's going to make you feel kind of like I was just now, with your tongue tied and you can't like express yourself and you're just like so swept up. And I'm looking at the clock right now, and as I'm filming this, it's 3:33 p.m. So the time might be relevant for you guys. But that was your reading for option number 3. So if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a comment or a like. It really helps out the channel, and I really like to know if it resonates with you or not. So I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.